Welcome back to Mistlands, AI horror. We leave behind the frozen wilderness of Iceland, but not the chill of winter. Tonight, we travel to the misty valleys of Wales, where Christmas tradition takes a turn into the deeply uncanny. Here, the line between celebration and seance blurs. Here, they don't just sing carols, ... They battle with them. This is a story of a Mari Lwyd. Not a ghost, not a monster, but something in between. A demand for entry, written in verse, done in the heart of a Welsh winter. Between Christmas and Twelfth Night, a peculiar procession would wind through villages. At its head, the Mari Lwyd itself, a genuine horse skull, polished by time, mounted on a pole, its jaws wide to snap shut, the terrifying clack. It's draped in a white sheet or shroud, adorned with faded ribbons and bells. But this is no puppet to the villagers. It was a vessel, a conduit for something older. It represents the Grey Mare, a creature of death and rebirth from Celtic myth. Men beneath the sheet are not just carrying it. They are its guardians, its voice. The ritual was a duel of wits and words. The Mari Lwyd and its group would approach a house and demand entry through a special impromptu song of Pwnco. From inside, the occupants would respond in verse, refusing entry. Back and forth it went, a rapid-fire, poetic battle sung to a haunting tune. If the people inside faltered, if they couldn't match the rhyme or wit, ... the Mari Lwyd one. The door would open, and it would enter. It would dance through the home, its snapping jaws chasing laughter that was now edged with genuine unease. A blessing, perhaps, but to lose the battle was to admit a symbolic force of death in the other world into your hearth. Your safest space, local archives whisper of the Fflur family in a small Glamorgan village. It was 1928, a bitter winter. Influenza stalked the plains. When the Mari Lwyd came to their door, they were terrified of letting the cold door worse. Sickness inside. They barred the door and fought it with verse. But they were weakened, fearful. Their rhymes became clumsy. They lost. The door opened. The Mari Lwyd entered. It stood silently in their parlor for what felt like hours before leaving. The family thought they'd endured the worst. But the next morning, the youngest son began speaking. Not in his own voice, but in a chorus of old, forgotten Welsh dialects. He recited verses no one had taught him, describing the history of the very land their house was built upon. Then the livestock fell sick. Then the well water turned brackish. They hadn't been blessed. They had been marked. The Mari Lwyd hadn't brought a spirit. It had awakened the memory in the stones, in the water, in their own blood. So, what is the true horror of the Mari Lwyd? It's not about being eaten. It's about permission. It forces a confrontation at the threshold of the literal door of your home, the metaphorical door of your mind. You must engage it on its own ancient, poetic terms. To lose is to allow the wild, untamed past into your ordered present. It represents the old world, the pagan past, knocking insistently on the Christianized modern door. Its silence under the sheet is more terrifying than any roar. What is thinking in there? What memories does that skull hold? If the thought of a silent, skeletal guest at your door has unsettled you, then you understand the old magic. Subscribe and hit the bell. We are just beginning to map the darker corners of the winter folklore map. And next time on Mistlands AI horror, you journey to sun-baked landscapes that hold a chilling winter secret to Greece and the Balkans, where they don't fear a creature that comes at Christmas. ... celebrates. Subterranean goblins work to finish the job they've been doing all year, sawing through the very roots of the world tree to bring everything crashing down. These are the Calicanzaroi, and they are almost done. Until then, lock your door and practice your poetry. This is Mistlands AI Horror.